Okay, our beloveds, today we will go back to our original formatting. Our Another made a huge leap today, a leap of faith that her heart knows best. Her heart has been experiencing moments of contrast recently, which she has merely stepped back and observed and felt and expressed, but not judged nor criticized nor acted upon. But last night there was a breaking point, and her dam simply opened up before her understanding that she's in that same point on the spiral of life, and that she was once again to say, I am no longer choosing you, I am choosing me. And it expressed itself in a vastly different energy this time, but nonetheless, it was the same energy of I choose me. I choose what it is that makes me feel good, loved, honored, respected, seen, valued. So many other words, but the point is that we continue to move each of you on your own spiral of life. And when you repeat certain lessons, we want you to express your choices differently, more lovingly if possible, and to choose and to honor that which is the best and highest and noblest path for you. It may not be the easiest for others, nor may it be even the easiest for you. But there comes a point in time where you stop being practical and logical about what your continued friendship with another person can offer you or them. And you simply say, I think I want something different. And you take 2 steps back and allow the other person, if they so choose, to take 2 steps forward. And if they don't, then you know that you have chosen well. There are many of you who still overgive, and there are many of you who still overtake. And we're trying to get into a sense of balance, where much like a yo-yo, it goes up and down, much like a pendulum, goes left and right. We want you to be less rigid and fixed in how you express yourself and what you're willing to accept or demand from others. We want more interplay with your emotional center, where some days you say, this is acceptable, and some days you say, it just doesn't feel like it's enough. And expressing it lovingly, and expressing it caringly, and expressing it clearly, and expressing it in a way, most importantly, where the other person can digest it. Otherwise, the lesson that you are also offering the other person will not be integrated. Because again, there are always 2 sides. Your lesson and the other person's lesson overlap and integrate, hopefully, so that both of you can move into a different timeline where different and alternate outcomes are now available. If you had stayed on the old timeline, you would have continued that same game of ping pong or table tennis. But by moving into a different timeline, you may be playing badminton or volleyball. because your options really do change. So we ask that each of you would be willing to be a little bit more daring and expressive in what it is that you are looking for, and seeing if the other people in your lives are interested in this expression as well. And if they are not, then maybe it is simply time to part ways. We have been talking about this ascension time frame and how when you finally honor self, when you finally express yourself from your throat chakra and honor who you are, most importantly, the real you, and hopefully the loving you, you will find that much alters within your outer world. Your expression of self ends up being a shift or a change in vibration if you alter it somehow. And when you alter your vibration, similar to a radio station, the frequency to which it connects and the music or channel to which it connects also changes. So do expect that when you alter your radio station, that the people who listen to it will also change. And what this means is that certain people who were in your life, predicated upon your old vibration, will now exit, and new people who align with this vibration will now enter. It is simply a revolving door, and there's no judgment from our perspective whatsoever. It is merely an expression of change, an expression of self. This is what integrating your higher self looks like. And it is not that you are being mean, it is not that you are being judgmental, and it is not that you are rejecting this other person. You are just simply saying, I do not vibrationally align or match with what you are offering at this time. And I choose to move back, and the other person can choose to meet you where you are at, or can choose not to. But you, most importantly, get to choose who you are and who you wish to have in your life, and on what terms. Our Another expressed this 2 years ago, almost to the day, and it has created the biggest ripple in her life, because this decision when she chose herself was not even on our probabilistic timeline, because it was not something that we ever thought that she would say or do or choose. And it created a vastly different timeline for her, and one that is most highly suited for her, but nonetheless one we didn't think that she had the courage and the stamina to pursue. And here she is now 2 years later, refining these lessons and learning what it feels like. There is a sadness, of course, in hurting another person, but there is a greater joy in honoring self and just trusting that when you honor self, that the universe can align all of the storylines with all of the participants in your lives in a better and more harmonious way. And it may not be what you desire initially, but it certainly is what you will attract. And if you trust that by expressing your heart's desires in a thoughtful and loving way that honors you and the journey that you're on, that there will be no regrets, merely more bungee jumping opportunities where you just jump off of the bridge, trusting that the tether that is tied to your waist or your feet or wherever else on your body will catch you before you splat on the bottom and bounce you back, giving you the greatest thrill of your life. You need to jump off of these bridges a little bit more. It's the Tawanda moment that we speak of frequently. And many of you are so terrified to do this because of the risk of the unknown. And you have these beautiful, stable lives that you don't want to upset. But we have shared on this before. You guys are not having a near-death experience. You are having a near-life experience. Living safely and cautiously and not wanting to upset the apple cart is not what your life came here to experience. When you're ready to pull that Band-Aid off, just do it and see what happens. It may not lead you to the desired destination on your horizon right now, but we can tell you it's going to be filled with lots and lots of popcorn kernels popping along the way as you're floating above the ground. You no longer have to go on a designated path that has been carved into Mother Earth. You can soar like an eagle if you so choose, dive bombing Mother Earth and her inhabitants, and maybe even eating a few, because that is the animal instinct, and you are, after all, human animals. You are designed here and there to have meat, but only as it incorporates into your life's purpose and your life's journey. So figure out who you are, embrace it, endow it, and become it. You are the hope, the beings, the creators that you have been waiting for. And so it is. Namaste.